You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Wednesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
Did you hear about that Justin Timberlake stuff?
Okay, so I saw Justin Timberlake is in the news. Did he get a DUI, DWI, one of the two?
Yeah. Is there a difference between the two?
There is a difference. I don't know it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have either.
He got it driving while intoxicated.
Okay.
So I don't know if he was drinking, on drugs, whatever it is.
Sure.
But man, I will say, it's terrible that he did that.
Right. Obviously.
Maybe we shouldn't be making fun of him, but dude, the fucking memes yesterday there's so many memes of Justin Timberlake doing his sobriety walk, and it's just those weird videos of him dancing and stuff. It's killing me, man. It's
so crazy. Justin Timberlake is so all over the spectrum of public acceptance because he'll do the Super Bowl thing with Janet Jackson with the nudity, and everybody was like, oh, bad, but then he does dick in a box and it's like, oh man, Justin Timberlake is so funny. And now he's got a DWI, and it seems like 50-50 people are like, oh, let him live. Let him live. He's DWI.
There's this thing that I saw online where apparently the cop that pulled him over is a young guy, and is so young apparently that he didn't even know who Justin Timberlake was when he pulled him over.
Damn, one of the biggest pop stars in the world, and he couldn't even pull a "Do you know who I am?"
The cop didn't recognize him or his name or anything like that. And allegedly, the story is that Justin Timberlake, upon the cop telling him to step out of the vehicle and stuff, Justin Timberlake said, "This is going to ruin the tour." And the cop said, "What tour?" Justin says, "The world tour." And the cop said, "Please get out of the car."
I mean, if you don't know who a person is, they just start telling you they're about to go on a world tour.
Are you going to war?
I would assume they were more intoxicated than I had previously assumed.
Yeah.
Okay, Grandpa, get out of the car. Come on over here.
It would have been the best to be a bystander, a fly on the wall for that, to see him I'll get you tickets, man. He's like, I don't know who you are. It's you ever have a friend that's trying to get you to go to their bar show? That's probably how it... all right, yeah, sure, dude, you're a musician.
Oh, your world tour. All right, sure, you betcha.
Imagine being a dude in the holding cell, and all of a sudden Justin Timberlake comes in.
Do you play it cool, or do you say something if you recognize him?
I'd be messing with him, and then as soon as he leaves, I'd be like, bye, bye, bye.
See, I was just going to say the same thing. I think I'd play it cool. I let him know that I don't know who he is, but then I hit him with that on the way out the door just to know I was messing with him.
Yeah. Hey, don't drop the soap, because you know who's going to come behind you? It's gonna be me.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I know everyone's trying to stay cool in whatever way they can. I got this video come up on my YouTube yesterday. The title was hilarious. It said, ASMR triggers to cool you down, in all capitals. Very chill, very cool, very relaxing.
Yeah, which is the kind of language you would use if you had some sort of magical miracle cure for the heat.
So I took some clips from this ASMR thing here, and I want to play them for you. Oh. And I want you to rank them on a scale of 1 to 10. How many would you give it?
Does it make me feel cooler?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. If it's ASMR, let me turn the headphones up just a little bit here. Let me make sure I'm getting right into the old pleasure center of the brain.
Now, the first one.
Okay.
Just a little cold wind there.
Oh, I actually got a bit of a shiver.
Does that do something for you?
A little bit. I would say it's minuscule. If I had to use your scale, I would say it's like a 3.
You'd give it 3 out of 10?
Yeah, because it could also just be mistaken for oh, now I'm thinking about it. See, this is the power of your brain. I'm thinking of a hot, dry wind. Now I'm not chill at all.
All right, next one here. Let's see. The ice cube tray crunching. How does that make you feel?
My shoulders just got real tight.
Does that make you feel cold or just uncomfortable?
It's oddly both. I have a sensation in my forearms of being a little chill.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that a 6.
6 burrs out of 10?
I hate it. I don't ever want to hear it again.
I also want you to know, like, there's a 15-minute version of that. I don't know how you'd listen to that for 15 minutes.
Yo, no. 6. It's a 6. Try it, but
I've got a few more here for you. The next one. Footsteps in the snow. Does it do anything for you?
Not really. Yeah.
It almost just sounds like someone's like eating chips, right?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like right in your ear. Like too close.
How many out of 10?
At best, that's a 1.
That's a 1 burr. That's a 1 burr. All right. This one here. This one, I don't know. It might just be me, but this is the most satisfying in my opinion.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
You hear the foam?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can also hear, like, the ice reacting.
Listen to that head. Oh. That's some good head right there, dude.
Are you thinking beer? Because I went to a cold pop.
Oh, really?
Is it? That's the old dad in me, man. My party days are beyond me. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a nice, refreshing root beer over ice.
That's the diabetes speaking right there. That's what that is.
Either way, that's an 8, brother.
That's an 8? That's 8 burrs?
Oh, that was good stuff.
All right, final one. I'm interested what this does for you.
Okay.
This is the sound. I'll tell you in advance. This is the sound of stirring a straw in a slushie. How does that one make you feel?
It feels like someone gave Pop Rocks a microphone.
Does it cool you down, though, is the real question.
No, if anything, I'm getting heated. That itched my brain in a bad... Stop, you're playing it again.
How many burrs out of 10 would you give it?
-8.
It sounds almost like weird macaroni, you know? Like...
I'm so tense all of a sudden. That was bad. That's -8 burrs.
If you're looking for something to cool you down, look up ASMR triggers to cool you down. Chill, cool, very relaxing.
Hopefully they work better for you, but I do not recommend turning your headphones up before you listen to some of these.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and I know I've talked about it a few times, is when you go to the grocery store and people just leave their carts out in the parking lot.
Oh, it's one of the biggest, most viewed all-time internet posts is the shopping cart theory, which basically states putting your shopping cart away benefits everybody but yourself, and therefore is the best test of whether you're a good person or not.
I have never heard a good excuse from anyone ever on why they leave their shopping carts in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And there's this video that I keep seeing on my social media that comes up. It's got 11 million views on TikTok.
I know this one.
This lady justifying the reason why she leaves her shopping cart in the parking lot.
I'm not returning my shopping cart. And you can judge me all you want. I'm not getting my groceries into my car, getting my children into the car, and then leaving them in the car to go return the cart. So if you're going to give me a dirty look, off.
You know what's amazing about that is she opens up with, you can judge me all you want, and finishes with, and if you judge me, you can go 3-8-2-5 yourself.
My thing is tell me if I'm wrong. I don't have kids, all right? But if you were able to go through the entire grocery store with your little rascals and you can do all the grocery shopping, then, like, why can't you either take them to where you're putting away the cart, or... I mean, I'm pretty sure every car locks nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to put your kids in the car. Is that too far-fetched to say that you can just lock the car while your kids are in it, go put the shopping cart back? I mean, it's that easy.
No, it's wild for her to make this video that basically states, my kids are such menaces that I can't possibly leave them alone for a second.
You know what this is? And no offense, this is just one of those things where people who have kids just make up excuses all the time.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what it
is.
We
talked about it on the show. I have admitted I am the rat on behalf of parents that's telling you the truth of we use our kids to get out of stuff all the time. And that's what this woman is doing. And she's since doubled down in interviews and stuff, being like, people just don't understand. There's predators everywhere. take your friggin' kids to the cart return with you.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Also, if you're that terrified in this day and age, you can get your groceries delivered.
You can get your groceries delivered. You can do click and collect. You can park next to the cart return. They're very easily marked.
Like I said, I've never heard anyone have a legit reason. And I already know someone's going to text and, yeah, there it is right there. Oh, I don't put my cart away because it's someone else's job.
Oh, you suck.
Do you also go to the bathroom and piss all over the floor because it's someone's job to clean up the bathroom at the end of the day?
Guys, if I don't throw all of my restaurant trash on the floor, someone's going to lose their job.
Yeah.
That's what you sound like when you say this.
If you say that you are doing it because you're creating jobs or helping people work, you're lying just as much as like a politician does, dude.
Do you know what that person's job actually is? That person's job, among other things that they do in the store, is to go get the carts from the cart corral where we've all socially agreed to put them and bring them back into the store. Not to go play Pac-Man hide and seek in the parking lot to find where you left your cart.
I find it a pain in the ass when I go to No Frills and you have to have your quarter or loony, whatever it is. But then it's like, it's people like this.
Yeah.
That's why we still have to do that, because of jerks like this.
You are not stimulating the economy by being lazy. Stop telling yourself that you are.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The only actual justifiable reason that I've seen is if maybe you're a senior or you have mobility issues and you can't physically do it. But a few other people are saying that they leave their shopping carts behind, like if they're at No Frills or something, they leave it because it's got the coin in there.
Right, they feel like that's the tip.
You're tipping the guy or something?
I will leave the cart wherever I may because I put $1 in it, and whoever's going to put it away is going to get that $1, and therefore I am stimulating the economy.
We do got Larry on the phone. Now, Larry, you were saying you used to be a cart boy years ago. It didn't piss you off when people did that, leaving their carts in the parking lot?
No, not at all. It got me out of the store for a couple hours. Smoke all you want. Take your time.
You know what? Now that I think of it, I have seen the odd cart guy hacking a dart, pushing chain around out there. He doesn't look like he's having a bad time.
No, like I said, I always do, like, they didn't pick me every time. It was whoever the manager happened to be closest to it at that time to say, hey, go collect the carts in the lot. Okay.
It's crazy to know that every shopping cart left in a parking lot takes 5 minutes off a cart boy's life.
Yeah.
That's such a smoker mentality thing, dude.
Honestly. And I mean, even just like a worker's mentality. Like, you will always look for break opportunities. And I didn't even think about it. That would be a great one if you are a smoker to just be like, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do a great job. The parking lot's going to be clear of carts. They're all going to make their way back in. But I'm going to get through half a pack while I'm out there.
I had the same mentality with taking out the garbage when I worked in kitchens. I was always like, yeah, any time to go outside, yeah.
Dude, when I worked at the KFC, nobody wanted to take the garbage out because it was smelly and it was heavy. And I was always like, that's me all day. And I'm not coming back in for 6 minutes.
There's always like the one guy on every job site that's always willing to go make a run to Hortons just because he wants to get out of work.
Just wants to jump in the truck. He can smoke in the truck. He can't smoke out here.
Realistically, we all find ways just to half-ass it at work.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Oilers keeping their series alive with the Florida Panthers winning last night, extending things to Game 6, which is going down on Friday.
They almost blew it a little bit yesterday.
That's playoff hockey, baby. That was a exciting game to watch.
Dude, it's crazy. One of the coolest things that I've seen in the playoffs so far was the in-net camera of Brady Tkachuk diving, sprawling to hook that puck out from the empty net attempt.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a move that you only make in the playoffs.
Dude, the best part was after McDavid scored the empty netter was they showed, I think it was the Florida Panthers owner, like spazzing in the box, throwing a water bottle and stuff.
I mean, you gotta think, right? That guy watched his team go up 3-0 to where, in hockey terms, winning the Stanley Cup became an inevitability, and then they lost 8-1, and then lost again yesterday. Was it 5-2 or something?
Yeah.
Like, he's probably getting a little heated.
I get both sides of the coin because, you know, it shows that guy losing his mind, which is every Leafs fan every single spring.
True.
And then it shows the Oilers fans, and, like, this is where it makes me feel jealous watching playoff hockey because I don't know what it feels like to even get close to that.
Right. To be in a position where even you're down 3-2, you are statistically, it's likely that you're not going to win, but you've got a chance.
Yeah.
Leaf fan doesn't know what that feels like.
I was in the Dominican last year when we won in the first round against Tampa.
That's right.
And I feel like we were celebrating like those Oilers fans were celebrating last night, and that was just to get past the first round. It's really weird to know as a sports fan. You've either seen it, you've been to the championship before, you've experienced it all, or you don't know what it's like. You're like that one kid that hasn't lost his virginity in high school yet.
Right.
Like that's how it feels, honestly.
What's that saying when people talk about athletes like dancing and celebrating and stuff like that? Act like you've been there before. What if you haven't?
Yeah.
What if you've never been there before?
It almost feels like a video game level that I can't beat. And I know it's not me, it's the team, obviously, but...
No, but even as a fan, you don't have that experience. You don't know how to conduct yourself when your team wins a championship because you've never gone through it.
I think the closest I've had to celebrating a championship is because, I wasn't alive when the Jays won the World Series.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't give a crap when the Raptors won. I'm not a basketball guy.
That was still a cool moment.
Maybe it's like the Crosby scoring the golden goal. That's the closest I've been to that feeling.
Gimlet of Crosby.
But that was for
goal.
The country. That wasn't like... I didn't feel like it was like, this is my thing.
That's the thing with international sports. You root for your country, you root for your team, but you root for them just based on the geographic lottery of where you were born.
Yeah.
As opposed to with Toronto, for you, that's the team that you chose, you grew up with, that you watched, that has constantly let you down.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, you're a Red Wings fan. You kind of grew up with it. So it's or old school Oilers fans in general back in the 80s, they probably thought they're like, this is what it's going to be like for the rest of my days.
Yeah, well, that's just it, right? Is if your team gets hot and then they start falling off, Detroit won a bunch of Stanley Cups. They won 2008. They went to the finals again, 2009. Then they set the record for playoff appearances for 25 years, but now we're on an 8-year no playoff streak.
But at least you know what it's like.
We're holding on to memories now. Where those memories are getting a little
You've
bit
had
more
a girlfriend
dim.
Before. All right?
Sorry, man. I wasn't trying to flex on you.
That's what it is. You Red Wings fans, you Blackhawks fans, you Penguins fans. You guys all know what it's like. So I hate when I hear people and they're like, oh, my team sucks. It's like, you've been there before, dude. You know what it feels like.
What's the statute of limitations? So 2008 is Detroit's last Stanley Cup. When am I allowed in front of you?
Never.
67 years?
Never. Yeah. Wait 67 years. I'm still dipping my fingers in the apple pie, dude.
I gotta hit triple digits lifetime before I can complain.
I don't know what it feels like, and I don't know if I ever will at this point.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I actually found this poll online that just after the Leafs got eliminated, someone did.
Oh, okay.
And they surveyed a bunch of Leafs fans, asking them various things that they would do to see the Leafs win a Stanley Cup.
Oh, the old thought experiment, if you do X, your favorite team will guaranteed win their championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So,
how far is Leaf fan going now?
Pretty far. First one says, would you live in prison for a year if it meant seeing the Leafs win a cup? 82% of people say yes.
82% will do a year of hard time for one championship.
I don't know, prison 1 year?
Let me ask
see the Leafs win?
Let me ask you this. One, are you allowed to watch all the games in prison?
I mean, I feel like it's a lot more comfy in prison than it used to be. So,
sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Two, do you get a ring? Is it acknowledged that your sacrifice contributed to the win?
That depends how much your cellmate loves you.
Because I'm saying, if you can convince me that, you'll get a Stanley Cup ring, you're in the parade, people will know that you did this for the team, then maybe. But if I'm just a fan giving millionaires a year of my life, I don't know, man.
If it's like minimum security, like prison, you know.
You're not going to the pen or nothing.
Yeah. I'm not talking about going to a federal institution or something. You know. The other one was, would you cut off one of your fingers for a Leafs cup? 53% of people said yes.
No way. The majority said they'd cut off a finger.
It's weird that more people would rather go to jail than cut off a finger, though.
No, it's not. I would absolutely go to jail over lose a finger.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
78% of people said no to this one. It said, would you cut off your hand for the Leafs to win a cup?
Okay, finally we're seeing some logic from Lee. You can't. 26% said they would sacrifice one of their hands for the Leafs to win the cup. Is crazy.
60% of people say that they would completely cut off communication with a family member and never talk to them again.
Do you get to pick? Because I'm sure we've all got, like, an estranged uncle or something like that you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll just never talk to Uncle Jeff again.
I mean, I haven't talked to my sister in, like, 5 months. I mean, I'm not saying I'd cut her off, but I mean, like, if I just waited 6 more months.
Yeah, like, I'm sure I could find somebody on the family tree, somebody in the Ancestry.com to be like, okay, you never talk to me again. Red Wings win the Stanley Cup.
Does it count if you're getting divorced?
Can I do an
Are there
in-law?
loopholes in that kind of situation?
Can I cancel my mother-in-law? Does that count?
Can you just go for a pack of smokes? Is that why? What team does your dad cheer for? Do you know? Is that why he left?
Buddy, he's a Leafs fan.
Damn it, it doesn't work.
He's not doing great.
It doesn't work.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast. It's time for Brock and Dalby's Draft.
All right, we're talking about weird pets that people have today.
It is National Urban Beekeeping Day, so shout out to anybody living in the city that's just raising bees, calling them pets. But it got us thinking, what are some of the craziest, gnarliest animals that people will keep as pets? So we're going to do a draft. Rock, paper, scissors for first overall pick. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper wins every time. My first overall pick, I'm going to go with, this is a fairly common pet, I feel. Like, I see a lot of it, but it still breaks my brain every time you go to somebody's house and they've got a pet snake.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Especially,
I hate snakes. So.
Especially if they let it roam. Like, I see people who got the pet snake and they got the big tank for it or whatever, and it's living its life in there. But then you'll go over to that one person's house and they're like, oh yeah, snake's on the couch. Like, why? Mm-hmm. Why is it on the couch?
Well, and I think everyone heard that story in elementary school of like the lady who would sleep with her snake and then one day she woke up and it was starting to eat her or whatever.
It was eating her feet first.
Oh God, I hate snakes so much. Coming in at number one for me, I'm gonna go skunks.
Oh.
I've seen this online a lot lately, and I met one person recently who said they had a pet skunk. Obviously, I think they get the sprayer or whatever it is called. Like
that's just it. Is
removed
for most
muted.
people who have skunk pets. Yeah, you get the stink glands removed for everybody's sake. But I've also seen stories of people who just keep them natural. And it's like, that's crazy.
I mean, would be a sick guard animal.
Absolutely.
Like a guard skunk.
Also, though, just feels like you're going to come home late from work one day and that skunk's not going to know any better and is going to get you right in the face.
Would have been great to have that skunk around my house in high school. Would have just blamed it on him.
Going for my number two pick. I'm not talking about people who got farms. I'm not talking about people who raise meat. I'm talking about people who live in houses with pigs. The house pig is an insane pet.
We talked about it recently. There's a guy in my neighborhood I see walking a pig all the time.
Right, just a big old hog. They get so big. And to keep it just like pent up in the house, do you let him sleep in the bed like a dog?
Yeah.
Do you let him curl up next to you on the couch?
It's terrifying to hear in the middle of the night.
He's having a bad dream, honey.
Number two, I'm gonna go with gator. I always see this stuff of people in Florida where they just have like gators in their bathtubs.
Yeah.
There's always like a story, I swear every couple months, of some dude who's got a bunch of reptiles and he's just got a gator living in his bathtub. Which, I mean, like, do you ever go to the bathroom at that point?
If you have told the gator that his domain is the bathtub, you can't then go in and shower.
There was a dude that I saw actually that had an emotional support gator that the town took away from him or whatever because it was scaring the kids.
Do you just put like a little vest on him? He's wearing a little gator fanny pack with your emergency goods.
Yeah.
I'll take for my third and final pick, I want to take the tarantula. I think back to like the Home Alone movies. I think back to kids when I was growing up. Just this furry, legged, giant, like It's so nasty, the idea of keeping a tarantula. And what are you going to? You're going to take him out of his little aquarium, petting him? Oh, I love my tarantula. He's so nice and soft and fluffy.
All I think about is Home Alone, and it's going to get out eventually.
You cannot contain them. The law of averages says it's going to get out, and now what are you going to do?
Finally, for I guess my final pick here, I am going to go with, and I know there's probably people that have them, ferrets, man. They're weird. They stink so bad.
They do.
They're kind of cute. Like, I'll give you that.
When they're playing around and they're flopping and flipping and racing, they get the zoomies or whatever.
But they stink. They are disgusting. They just, ugh. You go into someone's house and you're like, what is that smell? And then you see like 6 ferrets and they all look like they're about to rob you.
They're just glaring back at you.
Oh, so gross.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
In 2024, it seems like you're either a grill guy, a smoker guy, or a Blackstone guy right now. We've got friend of the show, Bobby, on the phone. You actually had some beef with your brother about the whole situation?
It's okay. First of all, those things are breakfast cookers, the griddles. But the first time he got one, he tried to sell it to me right away. That's how he is. Well, you got to get one of these. You got to get one of these.
Well, I thought you meant like he actually tried to make you buy his so he could get out of it.
Oh, no. He's all or nothing. So as soon as he got one, he's trying to convince me that they're the greatest things on earth. And I just said, cook ribs on it. Cook a brisket on it. You can't fry a brisket, dude. That's a breakfast cooker. Get the hell out of here.
It's a frying pan,
on
basically.
Anything.
It's a glorified frying pan.
That's exactly what it is. I can put a pan on, like, my smoker or my barbecue and make eggs, dude. Like, get away from me.
It is crazy whether it's a smoker or a griddle or any of that other stuff, how buying one thing can suddenly become your whole personality.
You feel like you're part of a club?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I love, like, I like smoking venison, like, and moose and stuff like that. So, but I got mine by accident. Like, I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a smoker, a barbecue, anything. I think those guys are all out of their friggin' minds.
yeah, I agree with you there.
I mean, with any hobby, the more money you spend, the more you almost have to, like, convince yourself that you're part of a group, you're part of a family.
Yeah, I mean, you see it with people with their tools. It's kind of like that. I mean, Jeeps is a big one for sure.
Oh, yeah. Any two Jeeps that ever pass each other. We've talked about this before, things that you knew without being told. First time you get behind the wheel of a Jeep and you see another Jeep, your hand just goes up.
When I used to drive Courtney's Jeep, I used to get so confused why people were waving at me. Harley's is kind of the same thing.
Harley is in the same vein as well. You always wave to another Harley driver, even if they're not on their Harley. If you just see someone with like Harley gear, a jacket, a hat, shoes, whatever, you're just like, hi, friend. We're in the same club together. Hello, friend.
Yeah. And then, honestly, I'd say even people with, like, Apple products. Some people are kind of snobby about that stuff.
Apple's a cult, 100%. And I say this as an Android user. Android also a cult.
Yeah.
We're just quieter because it's not as cool. You know what it is?
Yeah.
We're the Wish.com cult of cell phones.
CFL fans.
CFL fans. When two CFL fans discover one another, which is two needles in a haystack, let's be honest by the numbers, it is an immediate, like, relationship. Like, we're just like, we're going to be friends. We're going to watch games together. We're going to be the best of friends forever.
We've got bigger balls.
Yeah. Start spouting all the same catchphrases, stuff like that.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what Ed's got.
Good morning to you. Today's word is toothsome.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, T-O-O-T-H-S-O-M-E.
I thought you were saying twosome.
Anyways, it's agreeable or attractive, of palatable flavor, and pleasing texture.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. I'm going to leave that one alone. Anyways, we'll talk to you later. Have a great one. Cheers up.
So toothsome has different meanings depending on how you use it. If you're talking about food, to say something is toothsome would say that it's like it's good, it looks good, it's delicious looking, but it's also been adapted if you're talking about, say, a person or a thing that you could say like it's attractive, like, oh, what a toothsome woman that is. Now, I'm not saying you should use it. It sounds awful.
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like if I went to Newfoundland, that sounds like something you'd say to like a girl with one tooth. Like, look at the toothsome girl over there.
She's toothsome and adorable.
Lord Thunder and Jesus, someone send her to the dentist.
But yeah, so like to say like a food has a really appealing texture, you could say it's toothsome. But you wouldn't describe the texture of a human with the same word. Those are different uses of the same word.
I beg, if anyone listening right now is on Tinder, Bumble, whatever it is.
Oh, hit him with a toothsome.
Be like, girl, you looking mighty toothsome. See how they feel about that.
I demand, and I don't do this often on the show, if you use toothsome in a pickup line on a dating app, you owe us a screenshot. You have to send us a screenshot on the Facebook page. We deserve that much.
Toothsome, toothsome, toothsome. Oh my God, that's a mouthful to say.
Oh, toothsome is a mouthful?
Use it wherever you can, and maybe if you use toothsome, you might end up in a twosome.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.